Los Angeles Rams head coach Sean McVay had a press conference yesterday on Monday, October 28th. And I found this one little section really interesting where he talks about Stetson Bennett. And a Rams reporter asked him, I'm not exactly sure who it is. I think it might be Stu Jackson of the Rams website, but he asked him a question about Stetson Bennett, and let's listen in and then react together. And the reason I'm making this video is I am interested in Stetson Bennett as his development. He was drafted, I think, kind of because of his record at Georgia. And I know a lot of Ram fans are new to being a Ram fan because of the Georgia quarterback room of Matthew Stafford or Stetson Bennett. And so I thought, hey, let's just make a quick little video to kind of update this, that he's still relevant. And he is someone that, if Stafford were to retire next year, is he working himself into being an NFL starter? So we've only seen him in the preseason, but let's listen into Sean McVay's comment and then chat afterwards.
Seems like Stetson Bennett has had a bunch of different small roles for this team, right? Like throwing to Cooper when he's doing pregame workouts or working with Puka after practice. How do you think he's approached just kind of those little things that are being asked of him to help the team?
Yeah, I think it's a really cool story. You look at what Stetson's done over the last year and the commitment that he's made to being a pro, to studying, to learning about the game. I think you saw the improvements with the way that he played in the preseason, and then there's a selflessness about how he approaches things. No task is too small or too big for him to try to be able to help move the needle forward, whether it be for his teammates or whatever's asked of him in that quarterback room. I know how much Dave Ragone loves working with him, how much extra time those guys put in post-practice, and then he's willing to be able to help and assist wherever needed. And in a lot of those instances, you're talking about those selfless types of jobs because Jimmy takes the majority of the other reps that Matthew's not taking. And I've been really pleased and proud of Stetson.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So there you go. That is probably the first update we've had on Stetson Bennett in a long time. And yeah, I am curious to see what happens with Stetson Bennett because he got drafted. Unfortunately, his rookie year had some off the field stuff that he had to get sorted out. Glad he's back from it. And I remember thinking he was done with football. But then he, was back with the Rams in the offseason. We saw him in a pretty, I would say, a lot of action in the preseason and in training camp. And here's always going to be the thing about Stetson Bennett. When you look at his college career, you love what you've seen from him in big games and big moments. And if he can develop as an NFL passer, there's something there. There's something there, right? And I believe in the Rams coaching staff. I believe that if they saw something in him and they think they could develop him, there's the reason why he's still with his team, right? I mean, he was a 4th-round draft pick. He doesn't command like a large salary. If they wanted to move on from him, it's pretty easy to. But I am curious to see, moving forward, what his development looks like. Is Stetson Bennett's career just he's meant to be a practice squad guy? He developed, never really worked out. Kind of like I don't want to I don't want to put him in the same class as like Tim Boyle or something, right? Like someone who's just gone around and gets the random starting job somewhere or something like that. Stetson Bennett still has opportunities to prove himself. And again, it may seem weird making a video like this in the middle of the season, but Sean McVay was asked about it. I found it really interesting and thought, hey, you know what? Let's make a quick little video about this. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. This is obviously not necessarily a lot to do with the Rams season right now. It's more to do with the Rams future. And I'm still, interested to see Stetson Bennett sling it and develop. I know a lot of people have said, if Stafford were to retire, does Jimmy G turn into the starting quarterback? I don't necessarily want that. I like Jimmy G as a backup, even though it's still weird seeing him in a Rams uniform. Still getting used to it. But and then there's the people that just think the Rams should, draft a quarterback, which that's an option for sure. In the future, if Stafford were to retire, and even if Stafford stays, I think the decision has to be made about Stetson Bennett. This is year 2. Is he going to be like a John Wolford where he's just kind of always with the team, and then eventually he moved on to other stuff once he kind of showed his ceiling. And I guess now that I mention it, that'd be my biggest question about Stetson Bennett is what is his ceiling with the Rams or with any NFL team? Is his ceiling a starting caliber quarterback that can lead a team to a Super Bowl with good players around him? Or is his ceiling like, hey, might be good for a spot start here and there if he can, have players around him, or if he can be kind of a point guard quarterback, as they say, that gets his ball to his playmakers. So let me know your thoughts in the comment below. I know this may seem kind of like a weird video to make, but just Sean McVay's comment in his press conference yesterday made me think about it, and I'd love to know your thoughts because I like talking with cool people about cool things, especially about the Rams. As always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. Woo!